Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warships video, and in today's video we are yet again in the rodent brigade. We are taking out a submarine. So I'm sure that I've lost half my audience at this point, and I'm really sorry about that, but someone has to do it, honestly. So this is my next submarine game. I better actually name the submarine. I didn't do that in the previous video. Awfully sorry about that. But this is the U-69. It's not a particularly pimped out U-69. I don't think I've got the credits for any modules, and I don't know what captain skills to take, and I don't want to have to reassign the skills, spending whatever in-game currency I need to do that. So I haven't selected any. I'm just trying to work out what I'm good at, and then I'll do a bit of selection. So this is about as stock as it gets. There's a captain in there, but he's just got his plaque on the door. He's adding no other value. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to scout ahead of the team, and I do push up ahead. So what I'm trying to do with submarines is counter the enemy submarine by, well, spotting them, but then I submerge because there's aircraft. And if there's one thing that scares submarines, well, the aircraft probably shouldn't scare me, but I don't want to be detected. I want, well, what do I want? I don't think it really matters if I get detected. They know there's a submarine out there because there's submarines on this side. If I do get detected, I think I'm small enough and moving quickly enough that I don't think there's going to be any incoming fire that's a threat. And I don't think those aircraft spotting distance, by the time they spot me, there's not much they can do. So really, I don't know why I'm trying to avoid those aircraft, but I am, because whatever. But we're trying to pull ahead. We're trying to get some spotting for the team, create a bit of space for the battleship so that he's got a bit of distance. And unfortunately, this Omaha has decided to follow up. Now, that's an unintended consequence of me pushing ahead, and I have to say that we'll come back to this Omaha very shortly. Because, yeah, there is unintended consequences going on here. I am diving because there's some bombers that went directly over me, and I imagine for a moment they may actually be able to bomb me, and I don't have many hit points. I don't know actually what it's like flying an aircraft carrier. I think I've sold all my aircraft carriers to get the credits to buy, well, to buy things like stock submarines. I really need to do better in some of my battles and get better credits. Yeah, so this is the problem for the Omaha. He's pushed up because he thinks he's got support, but his entire support consists of one U-69 submarine, and I'm going to have to tell you that submarines are not good support. In fact, we're no support at all. If you think a submarine support, then I think you need to reevaluate your choices. But as you can see, a whole lot of torpedoes went in. He's gone, unintended consequence. He pushed up too far, thinking he had mates, but if your mate's a submarine, not really a mate. We're a bit selfish lot, really. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm pushed out too far. There isn't actually any caps to take. All we're trying to do is provide scouting so that our team can engage the enemy from positions of relative comfort, like behind islands and all the rest of it. There's just a submarine there. That's not exciting, so I'm going to move over here to the right and try and expose, or to the left, sorry, and try and expose some of these ships. Now I'm trying to be careful with this cruiser behind the island there because I do not want to get detected, but I want to provide visibility because he's actually pretty close up. He's, well, I don't know what he's providing. He could be a sonar cruiser, which would be a bit of a worry, or but whatever. He's starting to stake out a bit of claim to well, an area of ocean, getting pretty close, pushing on our ships. You can see you've got a couple of battleships behind us, which is quite nice. Obviously, they're not very happy about the enemy submarine, but I'm going to try and make sure that enemy submarine doesn't cause them an issue. But I can't do that while that enemy submarine has support, because if we spot each other, my battleships will knock him down if they can, depending on how far away. And if the enemy ships will knock me down, depending on how far away I am. You can see that is a ping. And in come the torpedoes. And just a second or two, there goes the second ping. I'm crossing this ping line. I should probably have submerged long before that because, actually, I probably should have taken that ping, to be fair. That might have saved our battleship. Well, some pain. There goes torpedoes somewhere down there. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. So I'm going to have to try and provide some sort of counter for that submarine, but I can't really do it while that cruiser's there. So I need that cruiser spotted, I needed that cruiser gone, and our battleships are quite happily obliging. I think that cruiser probably outstayed his welcome. If he's not gone by now, he'll be gone in a second or two. I'm going to start to turn in, because I'm going to start to turn out. I put some torpedoes in the water, I think. $1 short and $1 late, or a day late and $1 short, whatever. Oh, don't want to ram the island, which is pretty much par for the course for me. Oh, there goes the ping. Now I'm public enemy number 1. That's good to see. So I'm going to ask this battleship for some help at some point. I am editing on this on my phone, so it's a very tiny screen, so I'm trying to remember what's happened during the battle. So if things aren't entirely accurate, I'll blame my tools. And I can do that because I'm an amateur. I know a good workman doesn't blame his tools, but I'm an amateur and I'm in a submarine and no one cares what I think anyway, I'm sure. Right, because everybody in World of Warships just loves submarines. And a submarine replay played badly is probably more entertaining than a submarine played well. Well, maybe. Maybe you just want to see me go to the bottom. Anyway, we're going to take out this enemy submarine somehow. And the way that I take out the way that I've found to take out enemy submarines is actually the most efficient way, is coming up, and it's going to be absolutely appalling, and goes to show how realistic this game is not. Compared with how subs actually operated in the period. So there goes some torpedoes out on the submarine. I'm going to try and ping. He tries to ping me. We miss each other because we're obviously both learning. But what I'm doing is I'm powering towards him full speed. I don't need to be submerged. There go the torpedoes. Oh, there goes the ping. I do need to be submerged, do I? So that was to avoid the torpedoes or avoid the ping. I've just got to keep my eye on him. I'm really trying to get in as close as I can because, what I've found is the most effective way to fight submarines is something I call jamming their wares, which I learned from Digital Combat Simulator. So basically, jamming the wares means that you are getting within the effective weapons engagement range of their weapons. And for submarines, nice miss on the ping, almost as appalling as mine. There goes our guns. There it goes. Oh, I've been pinged. I clear it because I'm not quite ready for the torpedoes. I need to be within the magic 3 kilometers. There goes some torpedoes. Dodge those. Nice dodge on the ping. He's going to try. I think eventually he will get me, but you can see the incoming shells, and you can see his torpedoes going out. Our guns are shooting at each other. It's just messy. But jamming the wares is coming up. We're getting closer to him. Now our pop guns are going to shoot each other. It's actually quite hard to ping a submarine because you've got to try and deal with it in 3 dimensions, and they're not very big. I fire all my torpedoes, which I probably shouldn't do. I should just fire a spread of them, to be fair. There goes his. Is that his torpedoes? No. Right. Here he comes. He's pinged me. His torpedoes are going to come out very shortly. What I'm actually trying to do here is actually trying to ram him. No, his torpedoes don't come out. But now his whiz is well and truly and thoroughly jammed. And he's visible. And that means that our battleships are having a merry old time dropping depth charges on him. And for some reason, our team's depth charges affect him way more than they affect me. I'm leaking fuel. That's okay. Oh, there we go. Gets to the surface. I think that was a torpedo hit. But because he was within minimum range, yeah, there's not much that can be done about that. He can't stay underwater forever, and he hasn't got any mates. Torpedoes out, because why not? I should fire them on a wider spread. I should create a bigger wall of skill than that. He's now getting hammered by sort of hammered by our friendly battleship. I'm keeping him spotted. My deck gun's popping at him. His deck gun will be popping at me. Our torpedoes almost ram each other, and we can't even do that properly. It is really quite ugly. And rear torpedoes, there goes his ping, my ping, but at that point the battleship finally gets the line on him. He's down, enemy submarine gone. I'm sure that our battleship was well and truly relieved to get rid of that problem. And now my job becomes spotting, because I am the surviving submarine, and the surviving submarine's job is to basically provide situational awareness for the rest of the team and take caps, but there's no real way I'm going to take that cap down there, not with all those aircraft. So situational awareness it is. So what's going on? We've got a Pensacola coming up through this channel here. I'm going to try and... Oh, he's disappeared. That's something I can do for the team. I probably could have taken this shot because this ship's traveling towards us, but I don't. I'm far more interested in that Pensacola. And with my detection radius, I don't want that Pensacola to just come out and instantly detect me and sink me, because I'm points. I may be a dirty, filthy sub, but I'm still points for the team, and I have some responsibility for making sure that those points still contribute. So there you go. So I am trying to make sure that I'm not a complete burden. And we get some torpedoes off, because it looks like that Pensacola, from what we can tell, is heading off this direction. Looks like someone's got visibility on him anyway, which probably is our aircraft, to be fair. So I turn in only to find out that he's heading completely the opposite direction. Get a ping out to try and get our torpedoes on him, but he's going to pass that point to land. I fire all the rest of the torpedoes, because why not? I'm panicking because he's going out of sight, but he's well and truly going to be gone by the time my torpedoes get there, so they're just going to strike that point of land. Completely wasted shot, and I'm getting too close in, because it wasn't just a Pensacola coming down that channel. There was another cruiser, and what's happening now is I'm closing the distance to get within my surface detection. Now I could go to periscope depth, but the problem is that I'm not as useful to the team at periscope depth, and also I slow down an awful lot and it starts burning the battery, and I'm not moving as quickly, so the chances are I'll probably get overrun, unless of course I head dead north, and then all I'm doing is running away, which is not really useful for the team. So we do go to periscope depth, but we realise that actually all that's going to happen is that he's going to get close enough to detect us, or I'll run out of oxygen. So we do surface, and there we go, we're surfaced, and before too long the inevitable happens, which means we are going to be detected, which is not good. So we submerge, put a turn in to try and get away from his depth charge aircraft. We are leaking fuel, and I don't want to use my repair parties because I might need them later, or I may not actually by surfacing. I surface, I'm detected again. I submerge because that's made the fuel leak go away. He gets some shells. They don't do a great deal of damage. I am leaking fuel, and I'm just trying to get absolutely out of there. Now there is an island ahead of me. And what I do need to do is try and head to the friendly side of the island rather than the unfriendly side. That's not very good. We've got a flood. We're leaking fuel. I am going to actually have to surface, which is never a good place to be, but he's hopefully pursuing me and bringing himself into the range of our friendly battleships. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Right, we are leaking, so we're going to surface, and we surface mercifully outside his detection range, and we just blast off out of there. Now he's going to try and drop depth charges on us. I don't know why I did that ping. It just gives away my position, but I think I might be out of his depth charge range anyway. All we're trying to do is basically keep him busy. But he's looking imperiously on low health, which means that our battleships have probably been doing a number on him, which I'm so grateful for. I really, really value friends when I'm in a submarine. If you think you're playing submarines as a solo stalker, yeah, okay, that's cool. But I really value my friends because they can put out an awful lot of damage, and their weapon systems are a lot easier to use than my torpedoes. Right, we're heading around. And with that ship gone, I think at some point I'm going to fast forward this to the end of the battle. And there we go. So, yeah, all that was left was a couple of aircraft carriers. The Kirov took down one of the aircraft carriers. I think one of the aircraft carriers took down the Kirov, leaving one solo carrier remaining. Now, they do have ASW or some sort of automated ASW, which obviously makes it very perilous to get too close. But I'm hoping that I can get at least within torpedo range, or at least spotting, or do something useful. But probably the most useful thing I can do for the team is not die, because I'm points, and there's no way those carriers can sink me if I don't want to be sunk, especially in the number of minutes left in the game, because I think I've got enough. I've stayed on the surface enough that with a charge, battery charge consumable, which I know they're all gone, I think I could probably stay underwater long enough to avoid all their aircraft. So, yeah. I don't need to become a casualty, but what we're trying to do here is at maximum distance, get the torpedoes in the water, slow right down, slow all the way down, because I really, really don't want to get within automated ASW range, because it's not going to take a lot to get me off the table. And here we go, we take our life in our hands and we run a ping on the carrier, which just gives them one more unpleasant thing to think about right at the end of the battle. Get a ping, the homing torpedoes are going to head his way, but they have way too long to get there, and he gets taken out, giving us the victory. Anyway, I am strangely enjoying subs, and I hope you enjoy watching it, because, well, subs played badly are probably the subs you want to watch. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Catch you next time.